Hello everybody, Wembley is buzzing with a sea of red. It's the EFL on Quest, and today the League One playoff final between Charlton Athletic and Sunderland. And Sunderland, of course, have been at Wembley already this season, but make no mistake, this is not a home away from home. The hallowed turf has haunted the Black Cats 46 years and 6 appearances since they last won at the home of football. And the form book, it has to be said, is against them today. The Addicts, Lee Bowyer's Charlton Athletic, lost just one of their last 15 as they raced to 3rd place at the end of the season. Now, Charlton fans haven't walked down Wembley Way since 1998, and today they'll be getting a sense of deja vu. The opponents, Sunderland, the prize a place in the Premier League, a shootout to decide it, and the rest, as they say, is history.
Alan Kirbishley has had enough. Michael Gray, born in Sunderland.
Illich has saved it! And Charlton are promoted! And Sasa Illich, as he has been for 3 months, is the hero. Whoever would have thought it? The club that started the decade without home, without hope. Good old down-to-earth, feet on the ground Charlton can once again reach for the skies.
History repeating for Charlton. Their time to change the script for Sunderland. A man who played for both, Darren Bent, will join me after the game to discuss. But Darren, this is quite simply too close to call.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, both teams have had good stretches this year, and it's so close. I mean, you've got Charlton's firepower, Sunderland's defensive resilience. It's going to be such a tough game to call, and should be an entertaining one.
Good one for the neutral. Nightmare for fans at Charlton and Sunderland. In the commentary box, Michael Brown and Paul Walker.
Well, let's start with the all-important team news. Charlton make one change from the semi-final second leg win over Doncaster. Darren Pratley, who climbed off the bench to score an extra time, is rewarded with a start. Goalkeeper Dylan Phillips saved a penalty in the shootout, and it's likely to be a farewell appearance for Joe Aribo, with a queue of big-name clubs interested in him, whilst top scorer Lyle Taylor lines up against the team he rejected last summer. For Sunderland, Aidan McGeady is back in the squad, but only on the bench. He's still troubled by a foot injury, and Jack Ross says he'll only use him if absolutely necessary. 6 of the starting 11 also started the Checkatrade final. Lee Catamol, one of them, he missed the decisive spot kick in that game, whilst Chris Maguire's goal turned out to be the one that clinched them their date at Wembley for the 2nd time in 8 weeks. Sunderland in their change strip of black. The League One playoff final 2019 is underway. Sunderland back at Wembley for the 2nd time in 8 weeks. Charlton at Wembley for the first time since '98. It's Lyle Taylor and the outstretched leg of O'Nien, preventing Charlton from causing any damage. Michael Brown.
It's a great positive start from Charlton Athletic. Down the right-hand side, Lyle Taylor getting away. Such a difficult ball in, but it didn't come to nothing, but they'll be pleased with the start.
Here comes Charlton again. The cross is overhit, and Lyle Taylor fails to gather it. Playing against the club he nearly joined last summer. Decided instead to move to London. Max Power down already for Sunderland. An early blow for the Black Cats.
Yeah, something in nothing, he just gets caught there. So fingers crossed he'll be okay.
Here's Power. It's a good ball in as well for Maguire, but couldn't do anything with it. A rather scuffed clearance. Ledbetter. Oviedo in space over on the Sunderland left. Faced by Dijksteel. Away from Pratley. Sunderland keeping things alive. Power. Honeyman, 3 to aim for in the box. He's gone deep. Comes Maguire's way. Well, Phillips is there to drop on it.
Great pressure from Sunderland. Max Power into Lincoln down that right-hand side. It was a great ball in. He tries to take it early, does Maguire. Doesn't it? It's so clean, but it's a good opportunity and it'll give him confidence.
Ball here rolled out to Sarr. Back to Phillips. Oh no! Goodness me, what has happened there? What a calamity! What a calamity! Dylan Phillips took his eye off the ball and it's ended up in the back of the Charlton net. The worst possible start for Charlton Athletic. What a nightmare. Dylan Phillips must want the world to swallow him up. And Sunderland are gifted the lead in the League One playoff final.
Incredible moment. You see the back pass going there. That little bit of concentration and you're in a big arena, a big stage. He just loses concentration and a huge mistake. It was very, very straightforward for the goalkeeper. It was nothing to do with Sarr. Very comfortable. He just looked the other way, lost that concentration, and that's how cruel it can be being a goalkeeper left on your own.
Well, what a clanger. What a clanger. Max Power still feeling that right ankle. I think Max Power's afternoon could come to a premature end here. He's been down already, he's down again. He really is struggling. Max Power trudging off the pitch here at Wembley. So they are going to make that change, and Lewis Morgan, who was brilliant in the first half of the Checkatrade Trophy final in particular, is going to replace him. Well, Michael Gray, who has done a lot of interviews this week. Of course, he will forever be remembered for the man who missed the penalty in '98, but maybe, just maybe after this game, a line can finally be drawn under that. Oviedo. Foul by Pratley. Morgan. Getting it back from O'Nien. Wyke in the middle, Catamol in there as well. Catamol going down, Anabandley had a look. Ledbetter coming onto it! And Dylan Phillips has redeemed himself with that.
Catamol goes down in the area, you can see he tries to buy something. As Ledbetter, great right foot he has, he hits it very sweet down to the goalkeeper's left-hand side. It's a great save from Phillips after the mistake he'd had. That's the type of reaction we want from the goalkeeper.
Charlton have managed to get that one away. Oviedo hoisting it wide, but it sails out of play. And there is the hero of '98, Sasa Ilic. He's here. He runs a hotel in Montenegro and watched the second leg win over Doncaster and immediately booked a flight to get here. He's been a busy man this week, as you can expect. And his heart will go out, no doubt, to Dylan Phillips after what was an almighty error, and one that has gifted Sunderland the advantage in this playoff final.
You just keep going back to it, don't you? Do you know, so much at stake. Such a simple back pass to produce an error. You know, it is a huge, huge error.
Well, Andy Madley may want to take further action here with O'Nien dumped on the deck.
He just wanted to get the ball very, very quickly. He was slightly fortunate that he didn't get into trouble.
Purrington going long. Sarr was up there. Taylor! Oh, I think everybody in the stadium was expecting that one to nestle in the top corner. He caught it so sweetly.
I thought it was going to be a lot closer than it was. The diagonal ball with Sarr, it's gone on, it sat so nice for him to take. His body shape was good, his balance, the execution was great. Just couldn't get over the ball. It was great technique, and what a goal it would have been.
Cullen. Bauer. Looking for the one over the top for Parker. And that was an important touch from 09 because Aribo was coming in. Dijksteel. Finding Aribo. Taylor. Aribo again. There's Taylor. Terrific cross! Charlton equaliser! Oh, they needed that! Boy, did they need that! Ben Purrington coming in, round the back, his first goal in Charlton red.
Absolutely magnificent one-touch football. You just look, Arrigo, Taylor, little interplay, the wonderful ball to the back post, the highest level of goal that you will see. Magnificent passing, range, vision to see it, the back post with a simple tap-in. Great response from Charlton Athletic.
Well, Dylan Phillips will be very relieved, the goalkeeper. Ben Purrington has bailed him out with that. And Charlton back on terms in the League One playoff final. It's away by Flanagan. Bauer's header. Well, Andy Madley blows the whistle for half-time. The worst possible start for Charlton in this game, and a moment to forget on football's biggest stage for Dylan Phillips, who did not deal at all well with a simple back pass. Took his eye off it, the ball rolled into the empty net, but Ben Purrington at the other end got Charlton back on terms. And at the break at Wembley, it is Charlton 1, Sunderland 1 in the League One playoff final, and the second half highlights are on the way after the break. Welcome back to Wembley. Charlton Athletic 1, Sunderland 1 is the score in the League One playoff final, but Charlton have made a change, and Jason Pearce has come on to replace Naby Sarr, who of course put in his own net after just 5 minutes. Andy Madley checking everything's in order, and we are back underway. Charlton kicking from right to left in this second half. Flanagan stepping out from the back. Morgan. O'Nien to his right. Morgan comes infield instead. Maguire surrounded by red shirts. Honeyman. Maguire delivering! And Morgan couldn't do anything with it. It was fired at him, and before he could react, the moment had gone.
Great plays and great passing. Interlinked, the ball wasn't great from Maguire. Morgan has got it under his feet. Could he take a touch?
Oviedo. It's beyond Grigg. White went for it, beaten to the punch though. And that's a nasty one. Andy Madley waving on the physio straight away.
Such a strange one. And both players are coming with such force. They're getting up now. Oh, I'm not sure he knows exactly where he is.
Well, both players going for the ball, and that's a horrible collision, isn't it? And here's O'Nien for Sunderland. On to Morgan, looking to pull it back. Bielik in the way.
Fantastic work ethic down the right-hand side. Morgan running all the way, but Bielik was up to the challenge.
Ledbetter to take. Goes near post, Catamol went for it. Well, behind it goes for the Charlton goal kick.
Another training ground set up. You can see all the Sunderland players in the line against the flat line of Charlton. The Catamol at the front post just didn't fall right for Sunderland.
Johnny Williams coming on here. And as we expected, Darren Pratley will go off. So Johnny Williams on against his former club. Has been a winner at Wembley before with Crystal Palace, Johnny Williams. Could he have a say against his former employers? Pearce. Johnny Williams straight into the thick of the action. Up against Ozturk. Gets away from him, chips over a glorious cross, and Taylor. Well, it became very tight, the angle, but Johnny Williams making an immediate impact.
He has made an immediate impact with a great little flick. Once he squares you up one-on-one in the area, he delivers a great ball just as Taylor thinks it's opening up. It's just too big, but great start.
Aidan McGeady is on for Sunderland, met by a huge roar from the Sunderland fans. He is the player with magic in his boots. Charlie Wyke has made way for him. Scored twice here in the Checker Trade Trophy final. Aidan McGeady. Can he score again to send Sunderland up to the Championship? It's Johnny Williams though for Charlton, and he's getting the better of Ledbetter. O'Nien lunged in. It is a free kick, and Williams is down injured. There'll be a card here for O'Nien. He goes in the book.
Just as Johnny Williams takes a good touch, he gets away. You know what his ability, what his feet, and then O'Nien goes right through.
Bielik and Pearce perhaps hoping to get on the end of this. Pearce was up there. And another player down. Well, it can be torture, can't it, if your team are involved in the playoffs. And every fan inside Wembley is going through it right now. Here's Purrington. Aribo. Parker. Dykesteel. Williams is an option over on the right. That's where it's gone. Good delivery. Parker with the flick. And it was certainly goal-bound, but too much traffic behind it. Griggs sent sprawling.
Williams making the difference on that right side. He delivers early. You see Parker try to play that one with the back heel. It would have been some goal. Just couldn't get it away. Great defending in the end.
Colin for Charlton. Aribo. Colin once more. That's a great ball in! And it's in! Charlton have won it! Right at the end! Patrick Bauer was the man on a mission, and he has stuck it home and surely has won it. Late drama yesterday, late drama today, and Charlton Athletic are heading back to the Championship.
Oh, the scenes are incredible.
Bauer's initial header down was blocked, it came back his way, and he certainly accepted the second invite. Absolute scenes in the West End of Wembley. Look at the reaction of Lee Bowyer. Off he goes down the touchline. The Charlton fans look at that as well, behind the goal. Well, Patrick Bauer, whose daughter was born just hours before the shootout win against Doncaster, has become the real daddy of this one. Charlton Athletic seal promotion to the Championship. They got it done inside 90 minutes. A club that has gone through some very, very dark times, and Patrick Bauer came up with the decisive strike. The Sunderland players are crestfallen, beaten by the last kick, but Charlton Athletic are heading back to the Championship in Lee Bowyer's first full season as a manager. Absolutely extraordinary. They have been the form team since the turn of the year, and Charlton Athletic bring the curtain down on their season as playoff winners at Wembley. Championship football is heading back to the Valley next season. Charlton win here at Wembley by 2-1 in the most dramatic of circumstances, and we will have all of the reaction when we come back here on Quest. So here at Wembley, Charlton Athletic, the class of 2019, are following in the footsteps of the class of 98 by walking up the famous Wembley steps, winning with the very last kick of the game. Remember, they were a goal down after a horrendous moment for the goalkeeper Dylan Phillips. But he has a grin on his face as wide as the Wembley Arch right now. Then Purrington got them level before Patrick Bauer pounced right at the death. But this is a new set of heroes for these Charlton fans to worship as they approach the Royal Box here at Wembley. Lee Bowyer has healed the wounds of a club that has been to hell and back, really. And in his first full season as a manager, he has capped it off by leading Charlton to the Championship. For Sunderland, another season in League One beckons. Fell short in the race for automatic promotion and kicked in the teeth here at Wembley for the second time in the space of 8 weeks. But this one will hurt, and hurt the most. Charlton Athletic relegated from the Championship under Jose Riga after a goalless draw at Bolton. 3 years on, they are back. Who knows what the future holds for this football club, but right now, all of that is pushed to one side. Today is all about that group of players right there, proudly wearing the red of Charlton Athletic and waiting to get their hands on that trophy. Jason Pearce getting hands on that trophy and lifting it in the air with Chris Solly, Mr. Charlton himself. After 3 years away, Charlton Athletic are a championship football club once again. Patrick Bauer with a winning goal, a goal he will never ever forget. It could have been so different for Dylan Phillips, the worst possible start for him, but it ends in victory. Lee Bowyer standing to one side, but what a job he has done with this football club, and maybe, just maybe, this is the start for Charlton Athletic. They are back. They are back in the second tier again. Charlton Athletic beating Sunderland here at Wembley by 2-1. And let's get some reaction down on the pitch with Colin Murray.
Dylan, okay, everyone lifts that trophy up there, but that will be my lift of the playoffs when you lifted it. I just seen the relief and the joy and everything flood out of you.
I'm the luckiest man alive, mate. What can I say? Everyone sees today what happened, and it obviously was a mistake on my part. But that happens in football, and we had 85 minutes to turn it around, and the boys got what they deserved. For me, I think they battered them in the second half and deserved winners in the end.
How hard was it for you personally to lift that? Because it must feel like every eye in this stadium is on you.
Yeah, I like to think I was okay with that. Obviously, I was low, but these things happen in football. Do you know what I mean? I've not done anything like that all season, so for it to happen today, it's gone now, and we've got to win, and the boys have been excellent. They've got me out of jail.
Patrick, if you're going to score one goal all season, score it here, right?
To be honest, the boys, they choked already with me because all season I didn't score any goal. And I said to them, boys, wait, I will score an important goal still this season, and I'm very glad that I succeed today.
Well, you have the last laugh there, certainly. You can talk about this one for years, but you can talk about this whole playoffs for years. What an emotional ride for you. Just before that penalty shootout in the semi-finals, you know, you're a father.
Yeah, I know. I knew already a long time that the due date is exactly the day of the semi-final. And yeah, before the game, I went with my wife to the hospital. I saw the birth of my beautiful daughter. And yeah, basically after I went to the stadium and we secured a spot in the playoff final. I don't know what to say. I'm just so happy with the last 2 weeks.
Well, listen, everyone that's watching this now, your wife's going to be watching this. You're the only person can say that this is the second best day of your year.
Yes, it's the second best day of my year, yeah.
Lee, congratulations to do it in your first full season as a manager. Must be quite hard for you to put it into words.
Yeah, all I can say is that I'm proud of everyone to do with this football club, you know. It's a special day, and we've all got to enjoy it because these days don't come around very often. And I have to praise my players. Their work ethic every day from day one of pre-season till now is unreal. They just keep going and going, and I'm so proud of them, you know. I love them all, and to have feel this stadium and feel like the Valley last week, everything's it's just been a perfect season for me.
Was there a moment that you can pinpoint where things turned this season? Because the run-in was magnificent, 15 games and 1 defeat. Was there one moment that you'd say that's when things really clicked for us?
I think it's once we started getting players back. Yeah, we had so many injuries, and we'd get one back and then we'd lose 2, and then we went through a stage around January time, Christmas time, where it was hard for us, you know. Our squad it's not the biggest squad, but we just dug in. Once we started getting players back, then you can rotate a little bit and put out the team that you want to play to get the right result for that day. So yeah, but they've all played a part in it, you know. People have been playing out of position sometimes, but it is what it is. It's part of the game.
You're bang right. I mean, you haven't even mentioned Carlin Grant. I haven't heard his name mentioned. Tell us half the goal scoring gone. But listen, you mentioned this lot as they're already in the pumps, most of them at this stage. They have stood square behind the team and the manager, no matter what else has gone on at the club. A word in these fans about how they have done that. They've managed to separate any problems they have and really get behind this team.
And that's what I've been asking them to do from day one. More so this season, I said to them, like, we're going to go on a journey this season. Like, I honestly believed we'd get promotion. And then I said, come on this journey, be part of it. And slowly but surely, and then they're watching the football that we was playing, they're like, wow, like this is nice to watch. And we're good. And the players that they're running around with their heart on their sleeve, you know, and that's all fans want to see. So then now they've just bought into it, and then they've just come on this ride. And the later in the season, they're like, wow, like we've got a real chance here. And I'm so pleased for them because they've had bad times, you know, like when I first arrived back at the club, it was nowhere near like what it is today. So fair play to them, they put the differences aside and they got behind the team. And they helped us get here as well. Without their help, there's times we wouldn't have won games, you know?
You can't back experience, you know that better than anyone else, but you need that touch of absolute class, and he's not going to say it, but it's him. He has been something else.
Yep, and no one can deny him that. All season, especially since I've come in, he's been another level, and he'll go on to bigger and better things in his career, but at the minute he can enjoy this and go away and enjoy his summer holidays and see what's to come.
He should be your press officer. He's done that. You don't have to answer a question, but he's right. I could be awful now and ask you about where you're going to be playing football next season, but ultimately you'll make that decision going forward. He's got such a bright future.
Literally, I just want to go on my summer holidays, enjoy the summer, and then come back and focus on football.
The football he plays when he's in possession, it's not normal. It's like what you do on a street, you know, and in them little cages when you're young, and the way he drifts past people, like he's an exceptional player. But he's learning. He's only young. He's learning. He makes mistakes, but that's part of the game. And hopefully he'll stay here at the club, and then we can make him better again, because he's improved so much in this season. He's still got a long way to go.
What did you think when you went 1-0 down in the manner that you did? Because that really tests the character of a team.
Honestly, I mean, this team doesn't know when they're beaten. But I genuinely thought this occasion, to go down one down like that, I didn't think we'd come back. I was wrong. It doesn't happen often. You can ask my parents, but I was wrong.
You deserve all the praise that you're going to get. Every single one of us.
It's very normal in League One and League Two for a team who are successful to have players out of contract, players getting courted by Premier League sides. That's normal. What's not normal, if you don't mind me saying, is the manager being in the situation he's in. I'm not looking to dig any dirt on it. I just find it really remarkable, and it is a strange situation, Lee.
It is strange, and but I can't control that. That's what's happened. I signed a one-year contract last season, and now it runs out in June. Like, obviously the owner, I'm guessing he will get in touch with me, I have no doubt. He did say yesterday, he rang me yesterday, he said good luck, and we'll speak shortly after the weekend.
Jack, 2 big days out at Wembley, and both ended in fairly cruel ways, it has to be said.
Yeah, I mean, to be here and twice in such a short period of time, and to lose, obviously the first game we lost in a painful fashion, but today's even more sore, because the importance and significance of today's game was much higher than the last time we were here, and I don't think that group of players have deserved to for the season to be defined in that manner, but it's happened. You know, we've got to deal with it. It's gut-wrenching at the moment for players and staff, but we've got to use it to try and make us stronger in the future.
What's it like in that dressing room now? Because, you know, as you said, it's history repeated on an even bigger stage. Is there anything you can say in there?
No, it's sore. I mean, that I describe it as gut-wrenching. It's probably the most accurate description of it. Anybody that's walked in those players' shoes will understand that acutely. It is painful when they put so much into a game in this environment with so much at stake, and to lose it in that manner, it is really sore. and that what I've mentioned earlier about telling them that when they recover from this and when they take strength from it, it'll stand them in good stead for whatever lies ahead in their career and in life. Right now, they'll not feel that. That'll only come with time, whether it's days or weeks, but they will get over it, and they'll use it to drive themselves on.
Well, the players have finished their interview duties and they will now party through the night. This is the Charlton dressing room. Let's just have a listen and see what they're playing. So there you go. They finished, but we're not. Darren Bent and Michael Brown will join me side of pitch to look through the key moments of the game.
That's a great ball in, and it's in. Charlton have won it right at the end, and Charlton Athletic are heading back to the championship.
Can someone just tell me where we're going?
We are going out, say we are going out. We are going out, say we are going out.
Welcome back to Wembley, where the groundsmen are busy already getting this pitch ready for tomorrow's championship playoff final between Aston Villa and Derby County. But right now, Charlton Athletic, our championship. Darren Bent first, and then you, Michael Brown. What was the key to the game?
Whoever could just sustain it the longest. I mean, I don't think it was any team dominated possession. I thought it was kind of even game. I guess it was just whoever took their chance next. I mean, you always felt like in the game, it was going to take maybe something special or maybe an own goal, something quite freakish for it to win because it was so even. But in the end, Charlton got it. They stuck to the plan. They stuck in the game and got the win.
Yeah, it was destined to be a cruel moment.
Well, that's what happened. We were talking in the commentary about concentration levels, making the right decision at the right time, and you could feel the pressure building. Once it goes over 80 minutes, the time's running out, you knew something was about to happen. And I think just both sets of players sort of said, will this head to extra time? It didn't. Obviously, they got the late goal and then incredible scenes.
Yeah, that goal mouth just right behind us now could have been the worst place on earth for Dylan Phillips, the way that Sunderland went 1-0 up. He described himself in his interview with us as the luckiest man on earth, Darren. Kind of right.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. He was lucky and he'll hold his hand to say it was a mistake. I mean, I don't fully blame him. I know he should control it. But I think the pass back to him didn't do him any favours. I mean, as a young boy, you're taught, if you're going to go back to the goalkeeper, you avoid the goal, you pass it next to the goal or away from the goal, and he passed it straight at it. But listen...
You're being extremely kind there.
I'm being kind to him, but listen, I know he should have controlled it. But at the same time, he could have been helped out a little bit. But listen, he recovered well, made a great save from Grant Ledbetter in the game and recovered. And after that, I thought he had a good game.
That left-hand save, that was obviously under pressure. He come with another take straight after it. You thinking he got something on it. That's just really, really challenging at that moment. You must have thought, God, please, what happens? Where do you go from there?
We talk about clubs being cohesive. We talk about clubs having owners that they adore, a manager that they revere, players that they idolise. Well, Charlton haven't done it that way. It's a very, very different story, the relationship that a lot of the fans have with their manager and the players than they do with the owners. It makes what Lee Bowyer has achieved in his first full year as a manager even more remarkable.
It is a remarkable job, and with himself and Johnny Jackson, great affinity to Charlton. I think that's what's important, because the supporters actually have bought straight into them. So it's a positive place. They understand all the problems off the pitch. It's like even now, nobody's under contract. The players, the managers, and they're still doing what they're doing. So full credit to him. I mean, what the uncertainty is, when you haven't got that contract, even now going up, where do you go from that?
I mean, I spoke to Andy Marshall, the goalkeeping coach before the game, and he was telling me the same things. I mean, it's crazy, it's criminal, really. The job Lee Bowyer's done in his first full season, as you said, he's gotten promoted. But what happens now? Because they're all wondering, Andy Marshall, that 4 weeks' time, they're all out of contract. So where did the club go from there? They've had one of the biggest days in the club's history, but they're still uncertain ground. It's a crazy situation to be in.
Just a funny one on Andy Marshall, goalkeeping coach. He came over to us both afterwards and he said everybody just looked at him when the goalkeeper does it. He's like, oh no. So he was very relieved also. He was going to be out of contract for a long time.
Yeah, listen, the party that they're having right now, they'll be joking him about it. A very different situation. But
he's just come out, Colin, actually, right near us there on the phone. I wonder who's... It's a big
phone his agent. He's like, we're all right. We're absolutely all right. But it was the case of a captain's performance today, wasn't it? I suppose it's not going to win goal of the season, but it's the only goal he's scored this season, and it means the world.
Yeah, he had that feeling that something was going to give. I mean, they were pressing. I didn't think second half Charlton had too many opportunities to get the ball in the box. I mean, they looked like they were like tiring a little bit to me. Couldn't get many men up the pitch, but obviously they get a free kick in a good position, load the box, and these things happen. It falls down, and I'm not sure if it's his goal. It comes off his knee, hits the defender. But listen, you live for them moments there, and what a moment that was for him.
Listen, Charlton has spent 0. They lost Grant as well. That was half the goals gone. It's remarkable what they've done, and of course, a player like Joe Aribo is going to attract attention. So from that point of view, they're no different than any League One side that win a playoff. But what about Sunderland? What about going again? We know how amazing that fan base is. We know how loyal they are. How tough is it going to be for Jack Ross to lift this club and go again?
I think they're in a much better place. So we worried for where Sunderland would be. I had 10 minutes with him last night in the hotel, actually, about the plans of where they'd be. They'd obviously planned already for League One and for Championship. He felt like they were in a good position. He felt like the owners will actually sell and move the club forward. But with that fan base, and now they're healthier in a financial way, that club will come back very, very, you know it very, very well. It's a fantastic club, and they will be back.
And preparing for the biggest game of the season, your 61st, by the way. It's been a long campaign, and worrying about the fitness of your talisman and Aidan McGeady, that made it doubly as difficult for Sunderland today, because he is the difference so many times.
Well, he is, and all the talk was about whether he would be fit. And when you've got a fracture, you're sort of saying, when do you start him? When do you bring him into play? And that's the difficulty. He obviously felt he wasn't ready. The boys had got a great performance to get here, so he thought he'd be an impact. He tried, he huffed and puffed, tried to make things happen. It was always going to be difficult for him, but a huge loss.
To be fair, it was a perfect game plan for Sunderland. I mean, and it worked out well in that substitution, because they get the early goal. Obviously, then Charlton get back into it, but the game's kind of even, and then you're looking for that one player who's got that bit of magic. We know Aidan McGee's got that, and you're right, he tried to get on the ball, he tried to have a few shots, tried to bring people in, but ultimately just couldn't get enough of the ball to make a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. So Charlton going into the Championship, we talk about how Lee Bowyer has managed to do it in spite of what's going on. That can't really stick now. Things have to come together. They are going to have to spend a few more quid, right?
For sure, but which of those players are going to be there? The management, as we mentioned, nobody's under contract. So it's a major rebuilding operation at the club. They need to do it very, very quickly, give the tools that they need. Lee Bowyer and Johnny Jackson, it's going to be hard enough. With the squad they've got to move up a division in that Championship, as we know, it's going to be tough, isn't it? And with all that in the background,
it just doesn't help the situation. You're right, they've got some good players there that I believe can make the step up, but it's not enough. They need more investment to get more players in.
But that's a conversation for another day, not for right now. All that matters is the drink is flowing. They will party the night away. We won't, because we're back here tomorrow. The last of our 3 playoffs in the Championship is Aston Villa against Derby County. But as for the League One playoff, Charlton Athletic go up into the 2nd tier of English football. And it was cometh the hour, cometh the Bauer. Good night.
This is it. The League One campaign ends with the same 2 teams that started it. But who will be leaving it as a Championship club? Goodness me, what on earth has happened there? The worst possible start for Lee Bowyer. Terrific cross, Charlton equaliser! Well, the atmosphere is sensational in here. Heading into the last quarter of an hour, and we do not know which way this will swing. That's a great ball in! And it's in! Charlton have won it! Right at the end! After 3 years away, Charlton Athletic are a Championship football club once again.